What's up, YouTube? See what I did there? Anyways, I got another fast little Ace Tanker replay for you, and it's in a fan favorite this time. This is the M41 Walker Bulldog, and this is one of my favorite Tier 7 light tanks, and if I didn't have the 1357, I'd probably go ahead and say it is my favorite Tier 7 light tank. It comes with both an auto loader and a single loader, as you know, so you can pick whichever one you want. And I prefer the auto loader for the burst damage, but there's times during this matchup where I kind of wish I had the single loader, and maybe I'll try that next. But the reason I want to show this match is because I employ what is for me a pretty textbook strategy for light tanks and fast mediums in this matchup, Assault on Karelia. And the first thing I really like to do in this kind of matchup is get spotting all the way down this little alleyway here. And the reason for that is, if you have a lot of artillery, obviously they can help you out. And I think with the new spotting mechanics, they can actually, your guys from that little ridge line over there can shoot here. But regardless, even if you don't get a lot of spotting damage from doing that, I believe it's useful because it lets your teammates know exactly what's coming down this alleyway, and this is a very hotly contested area, so you definitely want that, so like they'll know what to do and how much tanks to locate. And obviously, I mean, they have to be fairly smart. If you have a bunch of tomatoes, it's probably not gonna work, but I do believe getting those initial spots in that area is pretty important. And I'm reloading my gun here, and I'm kind of wondering what I'm gonna do next, and I'm waiting for my opportunity to just go ham into that lower ground, and you'll see what I'm about to do as soon as I get this reload in. Alright, so now I decide to go here, and this is what I like to do. I like to wait till I'm unspotted so I have every advantage possible, because there's usually a lot of tanks camping on there. And this is a little risky, but you can go here, and actually, if I was not trying to spot so hard, I could have stopped here, and you have cover pretty much from all these guys over here behind this rock. And a lot of times these guys won't even be paying attention, so you can get a few good shots into them. But then anyways, I like to dip down here into this terrain, and this is just a perfect little alleyway that leads you right into their base pretty much. And I really love this little stretch of ground here because you can see it's very gradually sloped. There's kind of a berm here, and even if you have a tank with bad gun depression, you can still go hold down in this location. And it's very good because you'll usually spot all the base campers while you're down here, and anyone that YOLOs you from those locations is just gonna get torn up by all of your guys up on this hill and all your guys on that hill over there, as you're about to see with this Bulldog. I actually don't have that many guys on the hill right now, but they're still, like, you see, I just spotted him for maybe 3-4 seconds and they're already opening fire on him. And this was kind of a bad trade. Oh, excuse me, I took an extra shot from him that I didn't need to take, but whatever, I'm still alive and he's not, so that's what matters. But yeah, this is why I like this little stretch of ground, because you're usually pretty unmolested in this area. You can just harass all the enemies to your heart's content, more or less, as long as you dodge arty, which can be a problem because it's a pretty open area, but again, with only one of them, you don't have to worry too much. And I'm reloading my gun, and I kind of wish, this is what I'm talking about, I kind of wish I had the single loader, because I was a little afraid to advance more aggressively, seeing how I couldn't defend myself. And look at this, I'm just like doing the whole Jeremy Clarkson thing and moving back and forth, and I'm like, I just want to shoot this guy. And finally my gun reloads, so I started shooting the tiger, the Japanese tiger over there. And I was hoping to get a few shots on that T-34, but he got it out of the way. But it doesn't matter, I'm just going to farm this tiger. And this is just what I really like about this tank, just letting loose with this auto loader. It's so fun. And see, that guy right there was doing it wrong. He crested the ridge line and he gave shots to the enemy at himself, which is not really how you want to do that. And I take out the box tank, which is a pretty big gun out of the picture, so I'm pretty happy about that. But yeah, as you can see, this little part of the map here is very... And look, he can't even hit me because I'm in the lower ground here. But yeah, this part of the map is very good for spotting if you want to have a good spotting game. And you can do a lot of damage as well. And I'm about to move into my next location because I noticed the T-34 is falling back. And I feel like I've pretty much done everything I can on that part of the map. So I like to skirt around here down the middle once the game starts winding down a little bit, so I'm not completely out in the open. If you're doing this and there's still a lot of tanks left in the game, you might get killed, but you can actually stay down here in the middle, and a lot of times you'll spot a lot of base campers in here. And again, if they rush down into this little part of the map, all your guys on that ridge line are just gonna tear them to pieces. And it's a good location in my opinion. But I wasn't spotting anything, so I decided to move further out, and this was kind of lucky. It's a good thing that lava mist or whatever. And suddenly a Wild Panther M10 appears and he puts a shot into me, but I managed to back off before he can do any more damage. And this little dip in the terrain is very similar to that dip over there that I was showing you. It's very gradual, and you can do a lot of good work, and you have a lot of concealment here as well. So unless there's a lot of enemies over there, you can really do a pretty good job over here. And this was kind of a mistake on my part. I should have been reloading here, but I really wanted to get that kill shot in, but it didn't happen, and it kind of cost me some damage later on. If I had been, and this is what I'm talking about, like if I had the single loader, I probably could have been doing a lot more damage, but you know, like I said, I'm still new to the tank, so we'll see. Maybe I'll try it out and see how that works. And this Panther M10 decides to go ham, and I just now started reloading, so I'm not going to be able to put shots into him, unfortunately. Yeah, this really blows. That is one thing I'll say about autoloaders that's just like the most frustrating thing ever, is just sitting there. Accident, that's pretty appropriate. And yeah, like you'll just be sitting there and you'll have tanks in your sights and you can't shoot them, and it's the worst feeling ever. And you know what else is the worst feeling ever, is getting a crit on a tank that you should have totally penetrated. So yeah, but I still did pretty well. I got 3,000 damage and at least like 1,000 spotting, or somewhere around 1,000 spotting. And now there's just that GW Panther to take out, and we all know where he's hiding, like the usual RD location. So that's where I decided to go. I figure I have enough shots to where I don't need to reload, and it works out. A little bit of split-second thinking here since he's turning around, and I decided to wedge myself in here before he can do anything. And then just for shits and giggles, I decided to put a few more shots into him because, you know, he's already in. Even if you're dead, you still deserve to get shot. But yeah, this is a very fun tank, and this little matchup kind of shows what kind of strategy I like to employ in this tank, and really any kind of fast tank on Karelia Assault. Like, if you can skirt around this whole area spotting and not get hit, you can do a lot of good for your team, and that's how I like to play Karelia Assault. So maybe you guys can use that strategy too in those positions if you don't already know about them. I'm sure you do, but you know, I'm still gonna show it to you. Anyways, let's look at the results screen. Alright, here we are, Ace Tanker in a high caliber, and you can see I got the LT-15 mission done. And a little funny story behind this mission. I actually didn't read that description correctly, and I thought you had to do 4,000 spotting damage, so that's why I was playing so aggressively, hoping to get spotting damage. But then at the same time, you know, I just felt like shooting stuff, and it worked out in the end, so that's great. 1,450 base XP thereabouts, and top on damage done, almost all the kills, but at least on my team, there's a guy that got 4 kills on their team, so But still a pretty fun game. I mean, I made a few mistakes, and they weren't really mistakes. They were more just like I could have played better than I did, but I still played pretty well. So I'm pretty happy with that game. Good XP, good damage done, and everything. And just for shits and giggles, this is what it looks like. In case you guys haven't finished any of the mission sets yet, this is what it looks like when you win a mission. And this game actually got me my Stuk 4, and imagine my surprise when I figured out that it pretty much sucks. And well, I mean, it doesn't suck considering it has premium matchmaking, but whatever. That's not what this is about. And I like my little money shot here, and did pretty good. Made a decent amount of money, all things considered. And the ammo doesn't cost a lot, but because you can fire it so quickly, it builds up. But still, not a bad tank for making money, especially if you can get a lot of spotting damage in, because that'll just help your credit earnings. Anyways, thanks for watching. Leave any comments and suggestions, ratings, etc. Bye.